If we look at Galaxy Digital's recent report, it says that $3.2 billion in VC investments flowed into cryptocurrency, into our sector, in Q2 of 2024. And this is a number that's growing if you compare it to last year, where there were some quarters in 2023 that had lower metrics, but the number is on the rise again. This is a project that, along with two others, which we're looking at in today's video, really is one of the VC darlings right now in crypto.
My money is on EVM-based blockchains. But we do support all of them in general. We support like 75 blockchains from say Near to Polkadot to even Mover on Moonbeam to all the latest layer 2s on Ethereum. Bitcoin, now there would be EVM backed layer 2s pegged by Bitcoin on EVM. It's just going to wrap things up, but
and look, whether you like it or not, VC funding in cryptocurrency is a strength. It means that a project with VC funding has more support, more financing, of course, and that means they're going to be able to keep building through at least the next cycle, the next bear market. So as always, it's important to see what the so-called smart money is investing into. Here now are three projects that the VCs love. Welcome to the channel. My name is Maddie and this is Altcoin Buzz. All the best of luck if you choose to invest. I genuinely wish you well. Just remember that I'm not a financial or investment advisor, and that means by extension that this video is not official financial or investment advice. First up, among the projects that VCs are very much into right now and are investing actively into is Transak, which is one of the leading on-ramp and off-ramps to crypto from fiat money. It works in over 160 different countries and counting. Apps and protocols all over crypto use this integration with Transak to convert fiat into crypto. Its investors are Consensus, Sandeep Nawal of Polygon, and Animoca Brands, who is the, by the way, leader in investment in Web3 games. We caught up with Transak at Token 2049 in Singapore, and here's what they had to tell us about their project and the industry from their point of view. We spoke with Harshit Gangwar, head of marketing and investor relations at Transak.
So it depends from various industries to industry. So like let's say when initially we saw like the DeFi summer come up and a lot of these things, most of the momentum was FOMOing by like HNI investors who were like looking to like get into something which would give them higher yield or a higher ARR at the end of the day. But what we saw that then when that everything like phased down, there was not much volume in this very space. Lately, that DeFi summer has sort of like transformed into concepts such as RWS, concepts such as stable coins, and that's where like real world use cases are basically coming in. And when I say real world use cases, that is very much important for the entire industry as such. Like crypto was started in, like the concept of crypto became valid with the white paper of Bitcoin in 2008, and we are like on what 15th year of this very industry. You look at internet, like HTML started in 1991, and by say 2000 or 2004, the real use cases like Napster and Google and these companies were out there already.
So after his references to the feelings of FOMO people had in the last bull market during DeFi summer, Harshit talks about how the best use cases for crypto right now are stablecoins and RWA platforms, real-world assets, of course. Add Bitcoin as an investment and store of value, and we agree pretty much 100% on this strategy.
So we are one of the largest on and off-ramp providers. We have been empowering applications like MetaMask, Trust Wallet, a lot of exchanges across the world. Now RW applications, we are one of the only providers for Mutable. We focus a lot on the gaming side of things. So we are very in depth with a lot of, I would say, decentralized or DApp applications. That's where most of our current users come from. Now what we are looking into is like how do you scale it for like more geographies. So we are a regulated entity in UK, in Europe, in US, in India, and many other countries, but we are also like focusing on other regions. So soon we are opening operations in Australia, Canada, Hong Kong, and as crypto though started as something which was like democratized, so how crypto started as something which could be accessible to everyone. As more and more institutions come into this space, as more and more countries become more serious about it, more regulatory compliances are coming in, both for good and bad, to like protect the users, and to be also like bring in more compliance into this very space so that all the parties involved are more safer. So we are more sort of a compliant payment gateway solution through which a user can buy crypto or sell crypto. And our aim is to wherever these compliances are coming, we get there and we are able to expand as soon as possible.
Here, Harshit mentions it like it's no big deal, but Transak does the fiat integration on both MetaMask and Trust Wallet, which of course are the two biggest wallets in the industry. They're also involved in a lot of gaming, as well as one of only a couple of on-ramps for Immutable X. And the expansion plan here includes completing licensing to offer services in Australia, Canada, and Hong Kong. And that's, of course, after getting licensed in the more difficult markets, which are the United States, the United Kingdom, and India.
We would, so when this year, looking at the last, I would say we are sitting in September now, right? So it's been 9 months this very year. This year started with a lot of hot trends around ETFs that converted into some kind of RWAs, and that has moved us into a stablecoin era, which is going on. So every month a new stablecoin company is launching their own sort of stablecoin. Every month we are listening something or some new chain or something like that. So we recently saw PYUSD, which is from PayPal, which is issued by Paxos, one of the largest stablecoin companies. There's a new stablecoin called USDCL, which is basically giving yield if you are keeping that stablecoin in your own wallet. So every stablecoin company is coming with their own sort of niche use case, because you need to understand this is basically ultimately for these stablecoins, it's sort of a network effect. Now you see with USDT, that's what they have been able to do over the years now. You would probably have USDT in your wallet. I would have it. Everyone that in crypto is doing something would have it. And if they're keeping it on their wallet, the trader company is making money on the bond invested that they have at the same time. So it's a network effect now that other stablecoin companies are trying to sort of get into, but they're also solving real world use cases. Using stablecoins, it's very easy to send money from country A to country B to pay to someone. It's let's say Philippines or India. This overcomes a lot of challenges that have been there with the fiat currencies. That we feel is going to become just more hotter and more competitive in the next 6 months.
Harshit talks here about how we are in the so-called stablecoin era and how this is a good thing, because emerging markets can save in the form of digital dollars while there is a stable medium of exchange for RWA or other DeFi investments. And it's easy to send money as well. And the stablecoin issuers like Paxos, Tether, and Circle are coming up with niche use cases for their clientele. Just think of PayPal's PYUSD. This is a great insight for something that we don't often talk about. Keep an eye on our website, altcoinbuzz.io. We're going to be posting an article in the next day or two with access to the entire interview. You're going to want to hear the rest of what Harshit had to say about some of his favorite newer projects in the industry. We had a great conversation with this guy. It was genuinely a pleasure to meet and catch up at the conference. Next up here, and at number 2, we're looking at Monad, which is a layer 1 chain that brings parallel execution to the EVM ecosystem for the first time. And parallel execution just means that confirmation of multiple transactions happens at the same time. As you might expect, that means that the scale of the chain far exceeds single execution chains like ETH. And it appears to have everything users want in a chain, which would include EVM compatibility, scale with over 10,000 transactions per second, very fast 1-second blocks, near instant finality so that transactions don't fail or get reversed, and low hardware requirements if you want to run your own node. This, of course, makes decentralization easier. VCs love investing in chains and protocols that make improvements to EVM. And many venture capitalists see EVM really as where Web3 finance will live. Led by Paradigm, Electric Capital, and Coinbase Ventures, Monad just raised $225 million in September. And even for crypto, this is pretty surprising because as far as its status as a project, Monad isn't even yet in testnet phase, despite raising all this money, nearly $250 million. That's how much hype right now and potential there seems to be behind this project. But Monad is already building out an ecosystem with other apps and protocols that are joining pretty rapidly. People are excited about EVM with scale.
And so if this market pulls back hard under this level and then consolidates and comes back, we're likely to sell and stall.
Last but not least here, we're looking at Berachain, which is an EVM-compatible Layer 1 chain whose big innovation is proof of liquidity as a consensus mechanism. The Berachain team believes that staking to secure the network is a weakness of POS, or proof of stake networks. And they feel this way because, although yes, stake tokens help to secure the network, it's still an inefficient use of capital. So Berachain separates gas and governance into two tokens, providing liquidity, which most do by using BEX, and gives anyone a chance to help secure the network and earn in the process. And obviously this encourages decentralization. Large validator networks are not necessary to help keep the chain secure. Berachain successfully raised $100 million to go with the $42 million they raised earlier. Investors here include Polychain, Arrington Capital, and a number of the usual suspects involved in either one or both of those funding rounds. So this puts Berachain into some rarefied air because the number of projects that have raised this much money really are few and far between. You can probably count them on no more than two hands. You saw Monad was one of them too, but still it's an exceptionally select group. And if Berachain uses the funding wisely, they can really jump ahead here of many competing EVM chains. So that is what the VCs are eyeing right now. Let me know if you have a favorite project on this list. Maybe you think the VCs are making smart investment choices here with these. Maybe you disagree. I'd love to hear your point of view in the comments below. But from my perspective, this is what the smart money is doing. It's at least worth taking note.